right, so here's an update of this newer intersection. We have a lagging left and a right turn overlap. I'm gonna zoom out here a bit. So it gaps out together, and I think it's running in recall with the ped right now. Oh no, right, so they actually have a leading left here right now. So they got the new black pole up. So this was lagging before, but now it's leading. And then it runs in recall with just the solid green light. So we're gonna cross here. And this is actually the first per lane signal with black poles for as a Nova Scotia setup. Usually they're just yellow signals and steel poles. All right, so now that the ped signal's gapped out, we have right turn arrow, which I'm not a fan of because technically it's a permissive left with a right turn arrow. Not a fan, so that gaps out together. And there's going to be a bicycle signal which is not active yet. Still yellow buttons. I would have put black in. So this is kind of an interesting setup because we have through arrows. So it's a through movement only because you actually have another intersection over there which is for the right turn movements. And then, yeah, so lagging left, just because there's no yellow trap because they have to go through only. So it's funny that they only have through arrows here, but a green ball to the left. So there's the bicycle signal there too. They have the near side, so they'll have two on this one. These poles are kind of temporary, so all of these poles that you see here, you can see they have some black and some yellow signals. All of these poles will be black. You can actually see the pole pattern on that pole over there, and that will actually be a steel pole when it's replaced. But you can see with the cables, with the wire span, it's all very temporary right now. But yeah, all of these will be black signals. There'll be bicycle signals through here, which will be nice. I imagine that these poles are not readily available and that they're on back order pretty heavily. So yeah, so everything's in recall now. You don't have to just push the button. So through arrows. Okay. So this other intersection over here was also, it was a wire span intersection running a standard protected, you know what, look, there's the pole right there. So there's the new pole and the mast arm, which will be going up there. So it looks like it has a combo pole, kind of like that one. So it's kind of like a decorative highway light, kind of pretty typical for the city. Yeah, there's the right turn overlap. Yeah, I'd probably run that as lagging. Again, the reason that they ran that as leading is because this road was temporarily closed. So they had to have people go left here. But now that it's no left turns again and it's only a through movement, realistically, that should run as lagging, and then the right turn overlap could kind of carry over. Yeah, anyway, that's kind of how they have it, but I don't make the timing plans for the city, so they know better than I do, apparently. So yeah, anyway, there's your steel pole, there's your mast arm. So Black & McDonald should likely be installing that over the next week or so. But it is funny that they kind of went with a per lane mast arm, but I guess it's the positioning of it, maybe? I don't know, because it's like they have shared signals. You got the standard like aluminum pole, 5-meter mast arm, 8-meter mast arm, whatever, and with the shared signal in some of the approaches, and then the other approaches are per lane with the steel mast arm. So it's just kind of interesting that they didn't go either all steel or all shared. And clearly they didn't have black poles and mast arms readily available, since they have these standard aluminum ones, which are their typical, but they put all black signals up, which is pretty nice. So it's all no right on red. So this is actually kind of a new thing for HRM to do, and like my intersections with the province, I've already started doing this, but HRM is always a bit, they'll get there. They're a little slower to catch up with me, which is fine, but they're going to think it's all new and fancy for them, but it is what it is. So we have a through only, and this is actually a right turn only movement. So it runs the right turn signal, and it actually runs a protected permissive light, but it runs the protected left during the right turn overlap with the PED, which is new for them. I've already been doing this. And then it will run through. It's all in recall right now, of course. Just because it's a downtown intersection. No right on red, left turn. Like they did a nice job. The poles are nice, nice fancy black signals, APS. So it runs a pretty short cycle length. So, and the only thing they're doing right now is they're sharing the load switch. So you have the right turn signal, which is a solid right arrow, which is fine, but it's a solid left arrow. So they're sharing the load switch, where that really could be a flashing left arrow. But the fact that they're doing that alone, that it's a fully protected movement, is nice. They could technically run an LPI here, but they're not, but it is new. Like this is all brand new. I'm not going to criticize it yet, but it'll be nice once the new poles are up. Some through arrows, right turn overlap. But yeah, no, it is nice to have the PED signal as a protected whatever. So this person should be going because it's a right turn. I also would have used a amber arrow here. Maybe black street lights too, but I think that's temporary. So that's nice. Yeah, so this is all starting to come together. Pretty thin pole for as much load on there as possible, but I mean that also looks kind of temporary. Yeah, very temporary. But yeah, pretty short cycle length, but it is the weekend. I'm sure once this is kind of updated a bit, if this signal isn't in recall, that could run through and left at the same time, but they'd have to put it on another load switch. So we'll see if they do that at some point. But yeah, overall, nice setup. Yeah, nice to see the use of more arrows for HRM. This will all be coordinated, and then there's another light down here, which I will film separately. There you go.